Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to draft this style and especially how to achieve this neck. So this style was requested from the StyleBit fashion designer community. So if you haven't downloaded the StyleBit app, this is one of the things you are missing out. Apart from what the StyleBit help your business with StyleBit you can also have free access to fashion designer community where you can ask pro fashion designer on how to achieve or how to go about whatever you are having difficulty with. Let's get started. The first thing to take note is that you shouldn't measure the sleeve from the shoulder. You should not measure the sleeve of this top from the shoulder of your customer. You should measure it from the midpoint of the neck. So place your tape rule at the neck of your customer, at the middle of the neck, and drag the tape rule across the shoulder to the wrist or to wherever you want the sleeve to stop in your own case. So after doing that, then on your pattern or on your fabric, you are going to measure from this folded edge. Remember, I have my pattern folded into two because I'm only cutting for the front, so the pattern is only folded into two. In this case, after cutting the front, I can duplicate the pattern with this front pattern. So I'm going to start taking the measurement from the midpoint of the neck. So this point, this folded edge is the midpoint of the neck. So start taking the measurement here. If the sleeve is a long sleeve, like from the midpoint to the waist of your customer, the measurement, you can always measure that, but the measurement should be around 31 to 32 inches. You can always measure that, and you should always measure it on your customer's body. So let's say, but for the sake of this video, I'm not going to be having a pattern or a table that is as wide as 31 to 32 inches. So I'm going to stop here. I'll use the whole of this paper for the sleeve. Remember, I start measuring the sleeve not from the shoulder but from the midpoint of the neck. Then you should determine how wide you want the sleeve to be. So determine how wide you want the sleeve to be. For the sake of this video, I'm going to make it to be as wide as 6 inches. So 6 inches because I'm using a small paper here. So in your own case, the sleeve should be the sleeve around the wrist should be as wide as 10 inches when folded into two. So after sewing, everything should be around 20 inches, but when you have the sleeve folded like this, then it's going to be around 10 inches. So that is for the sleeve. Then we're going to move to taking the full length of the top. So take the full length of the top. Here in my own case, I'm going to be making the length to be just as long as 21 inches. Marking the length of the fabric, then I can rule to connect and indicate where the length of the top is. So I want to rule to mark the length of the top. So we understand that from this side, which is the shoulder side, to this point is the full length of the top. Then I'm going to proceed with taking the shoulder measurement, although we don't need the shoulder measurement here because the top is a cut together sleeve. The sleeve and the top is together, they are not separate. So but for the sake of guidance, because this taking the shoulder measurement here is going to guide us to know where the shoulder is and where actually the sleeve starts from. So I'm marking the sleeve and the shoulder measurement. Measure the shoulder measurement on your customer's body. It should range from 15 to 17. But in the sake of this, in this video, I'm going to use, for the sake of this video, I'll use 5.5 inches because I'm drafting on a paper. The paper is not as big as it should be. So after that, then we can mark the armhole depth. Remember, you know how to calculate your armhole, but for the sake of this video, I'll use a armhole depth of 4.5 inches. That is on the on my pattern. You know how to calculate that. You know that the armhole depth is calculated by dividing the bust measurement by 6 and adding 1.5 inch to whatever the result is. So I know from this from the shoulder tip, from the shoulder here to this point is the armhole depth. What is next for me to take now is to take the body measurement. So I want to take the body measurement here. I want to mark the bust measurement. Remember that this top is a very free one, so whatever the bust measurement is, ensure to add to it to make it as free as it is in this style we are dealing with. So it's not a fitted top, but rather a free one. So add to whatever the measurement, the real measurement is, and work with that. So let's say in this video I'm going to use the bust measurement to be 8 inches, that is 16, because I have it folded into 2. So if the bust measurement you are working with is 40 or 44 inches, then you have to mark 22 inches here, 22 inches. But rather you should mark it on this point. This is the armhole depth side, so mark it here, and you can connect the sleeve. You can connect from this point. So we have the sleeve done. So you can see the sleeve is starting from this point. The sleeve is starting from this point to this side, and from this side we can take the body measurement. So let's proceed with the body measurement. Because this top is free and not fitted, we don't actually need the shoulder to the underbust measurement, but for the sake of guidance, let us mark all the lines we need here. So basically I'm going to mark just the shoulder to the underbust measurement. Here, let me say the shoulder to the underbust measurement is 9.5 inches. So I'm going to have the shoulder to the underbust measurement line here. Now this line will serve as the shoulder to underbust measurement. So we can now connect from this side. Remember, this top is a very free one. So, but in order, you can mark it straight from this armhole side to the full length of the top, or you can also take a little feet out. So let's say this side is 8 inches. You can come to the underbust measurement and reduce it a little. So let's say you are working with 44 inches and it's supposed to be straight, but because you want to add a little feet to it, it's supposed to be straight because it's free, and maybe you want to add a little feet to it, instead of making the under bust also 44 as the bust measurement, you can make the under bust to be 41 or 42. So I'm reducing mine by just half an inch on this pattern. Remember to deal with your measurements. So what next you want to deal with here is the hip. You know, the hip, this top is beyond the hip line, so it covers the hip. So you should consider the hip also when marking to the full length. We can actually mark it straight, but because the top is beyond the hip line, we don't want to mark it straight because the hip may be wider or maybe bigger than the bust. So you want to consider the hip, and after getting the hip, and then you can proceed with marking. If the hip is as the same as the bust measurement, then fine, but if not, mark that and know how to go about it. So I have it marked from the bust to the under bust, and from the under bust to the full length. So whatever the downside of the top is, you have to mark it. If it's as straight as this, and if it's curved, then you make a curve. Already we have it to be straight, so what you want to look at now is to make it to be curved. So you can place your French curve anyhow you want, just not to use a French curve, then place it, follow the shape of the French curve, and make the downside of the top curvy. So with this, I'm going to cut out this pattern and we move to the neck. I know many people are concerned about the neck, so let me skip this video and cut out the pattern before we proceed with cutting the neck. So this is the pattern we marked, and if we have to open this pattern, we have it to be like this. So this is what we've been drafting. Let me turn it this way. This is what we've been drafting. Now first to move to the neck. First we mark the basic neck. Mark out the basic neck. And the basic neck width. Let's say the basic neck width is 3.5 inches. That is 7 inches once open. Because this is folded into 2 now. Once your fabric is folded, the standard neck width should be 3.5 inches, but then once you open it, it's going to be as wide as 7 inches. But here is a paper, the shoulder is 5.5 inches. You cannot take the whole of 3.5 inches as our neck width. So for the sake that we are working on a paper, I'm going to make the neck width to be as 2.5 inches. So this 2.5 inches there, and I'm going to mark that just on one side, then I will open this pattern, have it open now. So this is a 2.5 inches we measured from the midpoint of the neck here. We measure 2.5 inches from this side, and we got the 2.5 inches to be on this side. What you want to do next is to take the neck depth, the deepness of the neck. For this side, on a real human body, you shouldn't mark the depth of the neck to be beyond 2.5 inches. So let's say 2.5 inches if you're working with a real human, but if you want it to be very high, then you can make it to be as low as 2 inches here. But since I'm working on a paper, I'm going to mark it to be 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches. Then you realize that on from the side, you see that the neck on the left hand side is getting towards the shoulder side. So the neck on the left hand side is around the shoulder, stops around the shoulder. So we can connect from this neck depth to this point, So we have the neck to be like this. And on the right hand side of the top, the neck is not as wide as the normal standard neck wideness. So we're going to reduce this. We're going to reduce it. So if you're working with the normal standard neck wideness, which is supposed to be as wide as 3.5 inches, then you should reduce it to 3 inches. After reducing it, I'm going to connect from the neck depth to this side. So now we have the neck. The neck on the right hand side is just as normal, while the neck on the left hand side is on the shoulder. So it's not on the normal side. It falls down to the shoulder. So we're going to blend this point. You don't want it to be pointy like this. You're going to blend this point, and then we can cut out this. You can cut out the neck now. So this is the neck, and after doing all of this, you want to get a material to make the neck. So I'm going to cut another fabric, cut a fabric for the neck to make the neck just as the way it is in this style. Measure the neck round from this point to this point, and also for the back is going to be just as the front, the same thing as the front. So whatever the result is, you should cut a fabric as long as that. But before cutting the fabric, you should have the fabric folded like this. For rear and dress, you should fold it as wide as 4.5 inches, So once you open it, it's going to be as much as 9 inches. But because I'm working on a paper, mine is not going to be as wide as 4.5 inches, but rather 3 inches. So I'm going to fold it to be 3 inches, then cut it out. You can pad this fabric with whatever you wish to pad it with, but not stiff gum stay, not hard gum stay. You can pad it with HStay, or you can double the fabric to make it thicker than the top itself, to make it thicker than this. So after you have it padded inside, then you fold it back with your pressing iron. Let me make this side straight. Then you go inside the top, and sew around it, both the front side and the back side. After sewing around, then you can fold this back outside again. So you're going to have it refolded again after sewing it to the top, after attaching it to the top. So you're going to have it refolded just like this, and the neck will be like this. It will go round, including the back side. It will go round just like this. You're going to have it to be from this point to this side. So you're going to have the neck like this. So that is how to go about the neck. So don't forget to click the link in the comment section or in the description box to download the StyleBit app and join the StyleBit fashion designer community, so you can get access to asking questions that bothers you in your career. So thank you. Don't forget to like. Here are a few things you can do with StyleBit application. With StyleBit application, you can save measurements on your device so you never lose them. Click on this new customer button here, then input the customer's name, the customer's phone number, and click this WhatsApp icon here to indicate that this number is on WhatsApp. After that, you put all the body measurements available to you, or all the body measurements you took. Then you come down and click on save. You can also save measurements for a male customer. So once you switch it to male, you can put the customer's name, the phone number, indicate that the number is on WhatsApp, and input the body measurements available to you. Then you can save the measurements. You can also add new orders on StyleBit application. By doing this, you keep track of your business, know your total revenue, and know how your business is doing. Click on the new order button and follow the prompt. After doing that, click on save. You can also send invoice to your customers from StyleBit application. So send invoice to your customers to remind them about any pending payment they are yet to pay you. So click new invoice, follow the prompt, save, and send it to your customer via WhatsApp or whichever way you want it. So previously I told you that today's video was requested from the StyleBit fashion designer community. So once you click on the link in the comment section or in the description box to download the StyleBit app, after downloading, sign up and come to this small button here. After clicking on this small icon here, you're going to see beneath the last one before logout. You are not going to log out, but before logout you see join the StyleBit community. So you're going to click that and join the StyleBit community so that you can also have access to asking questions from fashion designers to help you out in which a way, whether cutting or sewing. You can join the community so that you can also ask me question on how to draft or how to sew whatever you have difficult with.